My name is Jen Russ, and I'm working with Kim Cripps and Caroline Harrington, and we will be discussing smart food labels. We based this presentation on a press conference from the American Chemical Society that was held in 2017. The smart food label technology uses a sensor to detect when food or cosmetics have expired by changing color. These sensors are different from others on the market because of the structure, and they are easier to use. The scientists developing these sensors have been testing them on wine and tea, and they hope to expand the range of uses to food and cosmetics. Throughout this presentation, we will be discussing the technology's capabilities, its uses, its significance, how the technology will affect business, and we will share the timeline for implementation. Smart food labels are sensors that can be placed on food to determine if an item has spoiled by changing color. The sensors bind to the reactive oxygen species that products accumulate as they age, which causes spoilage. The developers hope to expand the use of these sensors to consumers as they are easy to use, portable, paper-based, and biodegradable. This technology has the potential to transform how food is labeled by eliminating food waste, preventing foodborne illnesses, and by removing human errors. First, these labels will help to eliminate food waste. People often throw food away prematurely because they are unsure of when it was purchased, if it has gone bad, or a myriad of other reasons. The use of this technology will make it easier and more accurate to determine when food actually needs to be discarded. Second, this technology can prevent foodborne illnesses. If consumers can clearly see that food is no longer safe to eat, then they can avoid contracting a foodborne illness. Finally, this technology reduces human error. Because the label changes color, consumers need only to look at the label to determine if food or cosmetics are safe to eat or use. Our team recognizes that the video is over 2 years old. However, there have been new developments and progress made towards implementing smart food labels. There are other labels in production, but the sensing label is the most shelf-stable and the most accurate option in development. Since the video, there has been an increased pressure from the government and consumers for properly labeled food. Researchers in London have been testing sensoring labels and are working to make them more cost-effective, biodegradable, and more accurate. The scientists behind this technology believe that the market for smart food labels will grow by 2024 and that food sensors will eventually replace the use-by date. Next, Kim will discuss the potential issues of this technology, its significance, and what we learned.
Thank you, Jen. This is Kim Cripps, and I will share with you potential issues with smart label technology, what is significant about this technology, and what stood out to us during our research. As with any new development, there are gains to be realized, but there will also be problems to address as well. We have identified 4 key potential issues. Number 1. Early phases of this technology included disposable test strips containing nanostructures that were used to authenticate tea, wine, and other liquids. If the strips are going to be used for a long period of time as part of food packaging, more testing will need to be done to ensure these nanoparticles cannot leak from the smart label into the food. Secondly, we know the test strips perform well with liquids, but the mass consumer will want to be able to detect spoilage in a variety of foods, maybe processed snacks, packaged meats, etc. More information is also needed as to how solid foods may be tested. Third, although there is a growing demand for smart food labels, there are hindrances in the marketplace. For example, smart food labels are priced much higher than standard barcode labels. Also, it will be hard for underdeveloped nations to implement because they lack the infrastructure to handle these types of advanced supply chain mechanisms. And fourth and final, we simply don't know exactly how this will impact businesses. Reduced waste could mean more savings for businesses. However, consider this. Currently, expiration dates on food serve as a guideline rather than a hard deadline. This results in billions of dollars of food thrown out each year. Smart labels could cause consumers to keep food longer, hence buying less product over time, reducing sales in the food industry, and cutting profit margins for many businesses. What stood out to us as the most significant use of smart label technology is the potential ability to solve a problem on a global scale. It is worth stating again that we throw out billions of dollars of perfectly good food each year. If we kept our food until it was actually bad, we could help reduce the impact of two problems our world faces: pollution and hunger. If we keep our food a bit longer, then we replenish less often. Hence, we reduce food production and thereby also reduce the pollution that stems from food production in the way of factories, transportation, packaging, and the like. Consider the amount of stock that may go unused at a grocery store, or the pounds and pounds of restaurant food that gets thrown out at the end of each night. The ability to ensure the safety of this food could make it easier for leftover goods to be donated to local food banks or soup kitchens. We learned that technology can be adapted across disciplines for different uses. Part of the food spoilage application requires the use of antioxidants to act as probes in detecting if spoilage is present. Prior to the food spoilage application, antioxidants were already being used for therapeutic purposes, as drugs, and as polishers for electronics. We also took away how much lead time is needed from idea conception to marketplace. The first video we found discussing the science of smart food labels was from more than 2 years ago. Our investigation into this product has shown that progress is being made to prepare this product for market use, but even now we are still a few years away from launch. Finally, it was eye-opening for our research to blatantly state that not all populations will have access to this technology. While the initial one-time use test strip was cheap to produce, using it in conjunction with food packaging is more expensive and requires a more technologically adept supply chain. Unfortunately, underdeveloped countries will not have access to an advanced supply chain. But from what we noted as the smart packaging's ability to help with big issues, perhaps these countries could see residual benefits from the technology in their processed foods and other items received from Western cultures.
Thanks, Kim. Hey there, this is Caroline Harrington, and in this slide, I will be covering the current, possible, and probable uses of smart label technology. As answered in the press conference interview, this technology can be used expansively across many different sectors. In addition to the liquids like teas and wine that it is currently being tested on, the company plans to expand to all solid perishable foods. Dr. Silvana Andresco mentioned that this technology would also be beneficial for prescription drugs and electronics. Some items with expiration dates not mentioned in the video, but that could also benefit from the technology, are beauty products, cleaning supplies, and other household items that expire, such as paint and batteries. Scientists have mentioned that other potential future uses could be air quality detectors and chemical composition in the area of agriculture. The ease of use that the color-changing technology provides gives this new addition to the food industry the potential to be a universal standard for all perishable items in the future. So, how will this affect business? Food brands' reputations depend on the quality and freshness of their products. Tech with this level of accuracy has the potential to significantly increase product reliability and customer trust. There's a lot of room for error when interpreting printed expiration dates. Smart labels can reduce user errors that result in mistrust of the brand. For example, leaving products unrefrigerated during transport spoils food. To add another example, Jen works at the coffee shop O. Henry's. She mentioned that smart labels would have a large effect on their customers' use of coffee bags at home. Most people make coffee far beyond the fresh-by date and might think that this is a direct reflection of O. Henry's quality, when in fact it is just time to throw those beans away and buy more. With smart labels, these kinds of errors would be caught right away before the item is consumed by a customer. This would diminish a lot of recalls and lawsuits that result from people getting sick off of brands' products. In terms of profit, there are a lot of benefits to this expiration method as well. For example, having data about shelf life more easily accessible could result in better purchasing decisions for the food brand. An increased shelf life in certain products would extend the window of opportunity for sales. The reduction in waste can create greater profits for the brand and increase their cash flow. What is the timeline of this technology? Extensive research and trials have to be performed to develop this tech. To add to the complexity, this research must be done individually per food item. This is because only 4 to 5 substances can be tested at once for each food item, and the amount of substances in foods can be a lot more than this. Researchers have to be certain that the nanotechnology sensors do not leach harmful chemicals into the foods as well. Therefore, having it shelf-ready will take a good deal of funds and effort. However, the researchers at Clarkson University have a plan to incorporate their color-changing smart labels specifically for teas and wines into the market over a 5-year period.
Thank you for exploring smart food labels with us today. Our team is excited about the possibilities this future technology has, and we hope you are too. We believe it can have a positive impact on the world through reduced waste, reduced costs, and even its potential to assist in combating pollution and hunger. With continued progress and the right scientific research, we will begin to see smart labels make their way into the marketplace over the next 5 years. Until then, happy shopping and good luck keeping up with those expiration dates.